What's up, guys? So, I just got home. Thankfully, averted a crisis. Got home, and the first level of my wet dry here was overflowing. What happened was, I got the pre-filter here, and this is like quilting, batting material. It had simply become saturated to the point where water, once it got into it, couldn't flow fast enough to get to the holes in the bottom. It sort of, in its own effect, got like waterlogged or airlocked, just where it couldn't handle the flow. I've never noticed this before because I had this little setup. I had something like this here. As an air gap between this material and the bottom of this tray. So it always had the ability to handle that flow. I didn't realize how much that was actually saving me. So if you're ever going to do a DIY wet dry, there's definitely enough holes in the bottom of this to handle the 700 gallons an hour I'm putting through this wet dry. Yeah, that little pump there, little giant wet dry, it's rated at 725 gallons an hour. I have it going full bore. As you can see, that ball valve's wide open. It's 1.5 PVC. You can handle 1,230 gallons an hour, I think it is. Once I did the math. And up till now it's been working great, but last time I cleaned this out, I took out this thinking it wasn't needed. Glad I got home when I did, because as you can see I'm on carpet. I just spent about a half hour with a towel cleaning up a bunch of wet spot from it splashing down here and splashing over the sedge onto the carpet, which my stock is still getting wet, so I need to clean it a little more. So I'm going to reinstall the little elevator here back under that, retest the system, because I turned the pump back on. This immediately started to fill up with water. I simply grabbed a corner and pulled it back a little bit so air could get underneath, and water immediately went back down. So it's just little air needs to get underneath that mat. So I'll do that. Actually, I'll give you a quick demonstration of what it's doing so people know what to look for. Oh, I'll turn the pump back on here. Let's water a little rise. And as you can see, already starting to pump. Simply let a little air underneath there. Level stops rising. Starts going down. And holds right there, where it's usually at. Put that back in. And you should have water in there already. see, a little bit of air getting down there makes a huge difference. That's how simple it is. Just express gas, a couple little pieces of 1-inch PVC. There's about, you can see there's about, I made them about 1.25 inches long. Originally it was just to elevate the pre-filter enough that it came up here and quieted down the filter a bit. But I see it serves a lot more purpose than that now. I'll get the filter back in there and turn it back on and give it a nut test. Okay, back in business. As you can see, water level not rising at all. If you can sort of see through the filter there. Filter floss, quilt material stuff I'm using. It's actually elevated off the bottom. And only about 1/4 inch down to the bottom now. Still enough it's using all there. Properly distributing across all that. So yeah, make sure you leave yourself a little air gap. Otherwise, when your filter floss decides to get hair plugged up and all the water's trying to get through the holes and it can't get through there fast enough, you end up doing this, which I gotta go with another towel. So this one's pretty damp. I'm guessing there's probably about half gallon of water that decided to soak into the carpet. So I gotta clean that up now. Lessons learned. And I guess while we're on the topic of the 100 gallon here. Oops. This video is going to be all screwed up now from going back and forth. As you can see, it's cleared up quite a bit. The UV sterilizer I picked up there has definitely helped. But before, could barely see the back of the tank. Now, you can see, well, if it wasn't for all the reflection there, you can see fairly well the whole length of the tank here. Well, a lot better than it was anyway. You used to be able to barely see that far this way. But not bad for less than 48 hours doing cleaning that all out. UV sterilizer, 90% water change. Drastic improvement from what it was if you look at my last video. Eventful night. Although I did lose a quarter cat in the process. When I came home, discovered that that was not flowing properly. When I took that lid off, I discovered there was a quarter cat in there. And he was all chewed up. He was still flopping around when I opened the lid up, so I grabbed him real quick, tossed him back in the tank, and once I took care of the filter, I looked, and he was beyond saving. So I'm down one quarter cat.